Okay, so this is a completely new way to film, and yeah. So I want to paint today, and to do that I need to get some wood from the barn, and that means I need to go over to the barn and get the wood. Yeah, so I'm trying to film in a new way and being more YouTuber-esque, and the way I'm doing this is by using the selfie stick feature on one of my tripods and this other one, because yeah, I want to be more of a person on YouTube. I want to be yeah. Yeah, just want to. But yeah, I have some things to talk about whilst I'm going out, and I hope this also sounds good when there's a little bit of wind stuff. But I got a new job, and for this new job I have to work very much because it's only in the summer, and it's a little restaurant. But in a city near me, it's actually the #1 rated restaurant, which is really cool that they wanted me. Oh, it's a bit dark in here. I'm very honored that they wanted me, but I also have a lot of kitchen experience. Yeah, there's a bit of music in here, but I don't have copyright on it. Yeah, so that's why I probably won't be making as many videos, or I've tried this summer, but I'll try my best to make videos, and I'll do everything I can, and that's usually, hopefully, enough. But yeah, let's just zoom out for the wood. There, see the big monkey there? There's a old ass monkey. There, this piece right there is gonna be mine. But there's a problem with it. I need to make holes in it, because how am I gonna hang it if there's any holes in it? And I'm not gonna wait till I'm done painting to make holes, because then I'll get oil paint on the drill, and yeah, big problem. So I'm gonna do that. Now, I hope this is the sound is still great. Yeah, I'm gonna turn off that radio because that's really annoying. Yeah, and didn't really change much of the light. This here is the piece of wood, and it's not as big as a canvas that I would have purchased, but this is cheap and it's free, and I wouldn't say it's more sturdy, but it's around the same. It's a thin piece of wood. I haven't measured it, and I'm not gonna do that right now, because I'm just focused on getting this done on my day off. Yes, of course. And yeah, as always, when you're working with power tools, or anything, you should definitely use safety. And even though it's done in a joking manner with the sunglasses, you should protect your eyes, because you only have 2. So yeah, I'm probably gonna cut in this, but still. What the fuck are you doing? Or is it the other way? Oh dear. I'm not good at this. Nothing, okay, so there's one hole there. I think that's good. Now there's tires right here, so I probably shouldn't do it. So I'm gonna flip it the other way around, so I'm sure not to damage the tires, because I don't want to puncture. Puncturing a tire would be not cool, and I don't think my father or mother would be very happy if I yeah, these are gonna be totally shit and uneven. isn't this a drill to like? I don't. What is this drill for, man? Okay, I turned the drill the wrong way because I'm an idiot. But yeah. Yeah, so much control. So I'm going to take some sandpaper, or yeah, just some sandpaper that's laying around, and I'm going to just take these. I don't know if you can see it, but you gotta trust me on this one. There's the wood is sticking up here, which is a bit of a problem because I want it to be neat. And even though the side with the most, you know, problematic areas is going to be the back side, of course. Like, it's the best way to just cover the problems up. I still want it to look a bit nice, or as nice as it's going to get, you know. Yeah, that's great. Now I didn't end up using the sunglasses as much as I probably would have liked, but that's all right. Now this piece has a hole there and a hole there. I know it doesn't look great, but that's okay. That's completely okay. It just has to be somewhat functional. Yeah, and I would say that is. So yeah, that's the prepping. Okay, I'm back. I'm painting. I hope this looks great. You can see the canvas. That's all that matters. I hope the sound is great. Hopefully it is, because this is a real-time painting again, and you know, the thing with these real-time paintings is most that they take, you know, real time. So like for me, it doesn't take longer. It actually takes only a little bit shorter than my than the other type of videos I used to make. But for you, it takes a lot longer to get the same information. And I think that's good, actually. Like, yeah, I don't think you just expect things to come fast. And like, of course, I'll make as many videos as possible. So, yeah, the brush is a bit fucked up. It's a bit used, but it'll probably still work, hopefully. And for this painting that I'm doing on this piece of wood here, I want to start with a red background. And it probably just looks black to you, and that's also because there is a bit of black on the brush still. But hopefully it will become more red as I put red on it. But the problem with this thing is actually I'm probably gonna have to do some layers, because there's so much texture in this wood that yeah. If you can already see, I hope you can. Hope the camera is good enough for that. I'll go behind and check. But yeah, you can already see it a little bit, hopefully, that the texture is just so immense that I'm gonna have to do a lot of layers. And that's okay. It's gonna take some time. And of course, I won't record doing. Or maybe I will. I don't know yet. I don't know how much I will record when I'm just doing it real time, because I kind of want to record it all, and then I also kind of don't, because like some of it probably gets boring, but then I kind of don't care, because the whole video is like, it's supposed to be boring. Well, it isn't supposed to be boring. It's supposed to be entertaining, but it's just supposed to be a longer form of entertainment. So like, I hope my videos will be something that people sits down and decides, oh, I have a lot of time now, let's watch this video, or they come back to it. Like they don't necessarily watch it in one go. So they watch most of my video in like one day, and then they watch another third of it in like another day, and then some days later they finish it. I think that would be the coolest, and that would be really nice if people watched my videos like that. If they just more people watch them, that would be cool. But it doesn't really matter about the viewers, because I still get to make crazy art, which I would have done either way. So yeah, for me nothing's changed. It still takes the real time. I just get to talk whilst I'm drawing or painting. Now last week's video was a bit different, but you know that already, because you hopefully watched it, and if you haven't watched it, you definitely should, because it was a real-time drawing. It was a real-time drawings, but it was voiceover. Like there was a voiceover that I'd done after the drawings, and that was only because I just thought that was better at the time. Still think it's a alright video. Still think it's pretty great. So you should definitely go watch it. Yeah. But with this one, I'm gonna talk whilst I'm drawing, because it's gonna be so insanely long of a video that I won't have anything to talk about when I voice over. Like literally, I'll probably be out of talking points in. Yeah, I won't have any talking points for like a year after this video if I did a voiceover. That's okay. So, but I'm not gonna do a voiceover. I'm just gonna do it like this, and hopefully the audio is good right now. There's a little bit of problem. But we're trying to fix it, and I have probably fixed it. I'm not sure. Yeah, but the colors I'm using, as always, for red I'm using Azul Crimson, or whatever it's called, because that's just the best color of red you could get, in my opinion. Yeah, later today I actually have work, and I was like, I can sleep in, or I can sleep in a little bit less, because I work in the afternoon tonight, which means I could sleep in, but I was like, no, let me just sleep to 9 instead of like 12, and get more hours to do whatever I want. And that is what I'll do. But yeah, this is kind of the most boring part, and at the same time the most exciting. Like, it's boring because, yeah, just one color and just no form or shape, just paint. But at the same time, it's the most exciting because it's the beginning of every painting, or every one of my paintings. I always begin with the background. Because, like, I did it once where I drew the character before I drew the background, and it just didn't work. Like, it really didn't work. But this time, yeah, this way, not this time, this way of drawing the background first, it really usually works. I think it does. But yeah. This is definitely gonna need more layers. And like, it's not because I'm not putting the brush there, like I literally am. We're just gonna need more paint. And that's alright. Some of the places are always gonna need more paint. Luckily I have paint, and in that same vein I probably, hopefully won't run dry on paint. But if I do, then I'll just have to buy some new paint. Like, yeah, that's also one of the reasons I want a job. Like, so I can just buy paint and art supplies when I need them. Like, so I don't have to wait for like when I get money. And it's, yeah. It's right here. It's a bit damaged right there in the bottom. But I kind of like it. But it's also like, a bit scary because, like, how brittle is this wood? Because it's definitely sturdier than a canvas. But again, a canvas isn't that sturdy. That's the thing. Oh, I have this thing. This thing, if you don't know what this is, I hope I'm holding it up right. If you don't know what this is, you definitely need one. Because when you have paint tubes that are a bit, you know, crumbled, what you do is, this is so smart. You take this, open it up, put your paint tube in here, clamp down, then you just roll it. Just roll it a few times, and you can see it rolls all the paint up in the start. And that means I can easily get every last drop of paint out. And this is one of the best things I've ever bought. Because it saves me money. Sometimes the paint tubes, they crack a little bit, but again, they usually just get out all the paint. Again, it's just oil paint, so like, it's nothing that won't come off, hopefully. But yeah, then now there's more paint. Yeah, so there's many amazing tools I would like to buy, but also like someone was like, that's just a kitchen supply. Like, if you know those rubber spatulas, I think you would call it. I'm not quite sure. You know those things, like with the big wooden handle with the flat rubber end. I think it's called a spatula. You can correct me in the comments if you want. That would be nice. I was seeing one of those and I'm like, damn, I could probably paint with that. Make some really cool texture and some cool, like, it's like a sparkle. Or like a spatula. Like you just, shing shing. If that makes sense. It probably doesn't, but in my head, it made sense to me that it would be a cool thing to use. But I also just need more brushes, I guess. You can never get too many brushes. Big brushes, small brushes, medium brushes. Everything. Like that's the good and bad thing about painting. You can always get more of the things you use. And that, usually means you end up purchasing more. See, the color down here is much lighter, the color in the bottom, than the color in the top. And that's only because I didn't have any black paint on the brush at the bottom because the red paint. But I still want it to be more red, like the bottom. Still want to fill out those holes in the canvas. The thing is in pretty good texture, if you can see. Hopefully you can. But it's not nearly finished. It's gonna take a long time. It's gonna be okay. I actually got interviewed a little while ago, which is cool, but it wasn't an interview about any art. It was about me being dyslexic and how my school has one of the highest average grades. Like in Denmark, you don't have like GPA, you have like average grade, the median number. So you take all your grades and you take all the tests you've been in, then you add the numbers and then you divide and you get the average. And my school had a very high average grade, but also a very high percentage of dyslexic students, which was pretty amazing because usually dyslexic kids and young adults don't tend to do the best in school because of dyslexia. But we kind of do, so that's really nice. I also do pretty well, even though I have dyslexia. And that's because we really have good teachers, not gonna lie. And then this local paper wanted to interview us, me and another student. And yeah, we said yes when our teacher asked, and yeah. That's how we got interviewed. It was pretty fun. I've probably tried funner things, but it was actually pretty cool. And he was nice enough, the dude that interviewed us. But yeah, enough about that. The first layer of background is done. I'm probably not gonna paint anymore today. Well, you won't know because it's gonna be a second when this clip ends and another is gonna start. But yeah, this is the first background. So yeah, for this part, people were farming outside my house because I live on a farm. Oh yeah, I cut my finger at work. It's a pretty deep cut actually. But yeah, as I was saying, people were farming outside my house when this clip was recorded, and that meant you could hear you could hear machinery, tractors and hay bell making things, driving and working, and that just wasn't gonna be good enough for me because you could hear what I said, but the sound quality, it was just too bad. So I cut the sound, and this is where we are right now. I was talking about something I honestly can't remember, but it was probably telling you how I cut my finger, which I'm gonna tell you. Well, not gonna tell you again, but I'm gonna tell you the first time. So how I cut my finger was I work in a kitchen, in a restaurant, and I work out in the kitchen. I am like I'm a helper. I help the chef. So I cook some food and I cut some vegetables and I prepare some meat and I do all sorts of things. Also clean up and dishwashing. I do really many things. And that also means I have to cut salad. And I was cutting salad just fine. But then I was cutting cucumbers. Now you're thinking, oh, he cut himself on the cucumbers. No. The box where I had to put the cucumbers in, or the bucket, it was unstable and it slipped, and I grabbed as fast as I could out with my left hand, and then I just met the knife that I had in my right hand. So I basically just finger tapped the knife with my own finger. So it was my own fault, really, but I can't really do anything about it. But right now it has healed up very nicely. It's still a bit sensitive when I touch things, but there's just a scar now, like skin tissue. I'm probably gonna get a scar, and I have a cut in my nail, but yeah, that's not the end of the world. The nail is gonna grow out again. But I'm doing the face. I'm starting on the face right now, and I actually doubted this portrait a little bit in the beginning. But I definitely ended up liking it here once I'm finished. But it will take a little bit of time and lots of layers. And that's the only thing I'm sad about. Like, you can't see the amount of layers and like physical detail I put in unless I do an insane amount of it. But yeah. With these bigger canvases, it's much harder for me to show you all of the canvas, but it worked out pretty great this time, I would say. But also has a lot to do with the light and how that shines. So yeah, I just want another studio, man. Yeah, another atelier. But yeah, I don't have that much to talk about, really. I don't even think I talked about that much in this in this clip. In this video, I talk about a lot. But like, now you're also probably wondering, did I film this back to back? No, I didn't. I filmed this over like a week or so. Yeah, nearly a week. So I started all the way back when my second newest video came out. So the video before this one, I started working on this. So I always have multiple projects going, especially if they're bigger projects like painting and stuff, because I don't have a week to finish a painting. I can really do whatever I want, but I have a week to do a video, and if I'm this close to being finished or this close to not being finished, then I just try to do something. So I work on multiple projects at a time, but mostly only if I have painting or another big thing to do. Just because the drawing videos don't really, like, they take time, don't get me wrong, but they don't take the same amount of time, especially sketchbook drawings. Like, those don't take that much time, especially if I use the small sketchbook. Then yeah, it's not a breeze. Not even close to a breeze, but it's much more easy than yeah. What would I say is more easier than? Like, it's just easier than most things, most video things I make. It's also like a great thing and a bad thing. I would never run out of content because it centers around my art, but still. It's sometimes that it takes time. That's the thing. Art takes time, and you probably know this because you're probably an artist. I hope you are an artist. That would be cool. But if you aren't, that's also okay. I can't really force you to be anything. Yeah, and that's the only reason yeah, the only reason. I don't know what the only reason is, but yeah. I've speeded this clip up, as you probably can see. I didn't mention it before, but I'll mention it now. And I only did this because having to make a voiceover and trying not to talk about the same thing you've already talked about or is gonna talk about in another clip is a bit difficult when it's 18 minutes long plus 6 minutes, which is like 24 minutes, like half an hour. That's a long time. So I cut the clip up down a bit. But I hope that it won't ruin it all, but I don't think it will, because like the real work only happens a lot later. And that's also a thing, like the early stages I'm doing so much, and it all just goes to layers. Like that's a crucial part of how I paint. Layers, layers, layers. And if you haven't started painting, or if you want to start painting, or like you just want to try something new creatively and you decided to do paint, layers will be your best friend, even if they're dry or even if they're wet layers. Like just more layers will be amazing at creating this depth, and also like just making a piece pop. I don't know what it is, but just layers in general is just great. Great and great. Like it's fantastic. It's some of the best technique you could do, especially compared to, I don't know what to compare it to. Like art is subjective, so like you can't say something's bad or something's good. Like not objectively, at least. You can personally think something looks bad, or you can personally think something looks good. But that's opinion based. Like there isn't an objective bad or good art. And I think that's good, because if there's something that was objectively good, then that would be really boring, because then everybody would just try or do objectively good. I think it's more working with what you personally think is cool or good, or painting what you want to paint. I think that's the best advice or best thing to do. And that's what I'm trying to do here. Of course, yeah, I don't really, I don't have that much more to say, but this will be the last 6-minute clip where I speak to you from after the video's creation, which is a bit weird to think about, that the next clip is going to be older than this clip, or the sound clip. And that's a bit crazy to think about, but not really though. So I'm actually gonna black out the eyes, or black out. I'm gonna. It was supposed to be black, but since the crimson and white just made pink and white basically, it's a lot harder to get a solid black. So that's also why I just did these black parts over the eyes and the nose and the mouth, just because I wanted these parts to be better and darker. And I also decided, like, I didn't want a closed mouth. A closed mouth can work, don't get me wrong, but I thought this guy needed an open mouth. Yeah. It's an insane piece. I think I just got a text from my work. Yeah, damn. I just got a text from my job that I don't have to work tonight, which is great. There's not much to say there. But yeah, so apparently I'm free for the day, which is cool. Well, it's a little bit uncool because I want the money, but it's okay. I'll live. And especially this part is when it starts out gray and then you just put more layers and then it becomes black. Like it only does that when the canvas has something on it before, and that's just how oil paint works, I think. Like you'd never quite get the color you exactly want unless it's the first thing you put down on the canvas. But I also think that's really good, because the mixing of colors, the uniqueness of each random this amount of that and that amount of this color is gonna create the best colors. Like sticking to the colors you get out of the tube is so boring, but I don't think you should mix. Like I don't mix on my palette. I mix on the canvas. But that's also like I create inconsistencies in the skin. Some places is darker, some places is lighter, some places has small marks, some places has big marks, some places has tears, or some characters are missing teeth. Some have hair, some don't. Some have horns, some don't. Some have a little face coming out of their face. Some has a kid-like figure. Yeah, you should definitely watch my other videos. It's not bad, but it's something, because like, yeah, I don't want to work for money, but I want money, so I gotta work. Like I have nothing against the job, definitely not, but I would like to work to get money, because if I get more money, I can buy more art supplies, and that would be very cool. But of course, I also want it to be reflecting time. I want to make like fair money for my time. I don't want to just get played by minimum wage, which I am right now. Though the Danish minimum wage is much more than the American. I don't think it's much more, but it's more than the American minimum wage for 18-year-olds. Like it's hard to, like, I would say how much I earn, but I don't know what it is in dollars, and I'm not going to look it up because I can't be asked. But I earn 10 kroner less than minimum wage in Denmark, which is a bit iffy, but it is allowed and legal, because in the restaurant business we get tips stuff. So but we share all the tips, actually. So it's not the waiters or the whatever you want to call them. They get the tips only. So we all get the tips collectively together. And the more you've worked, the more tips you get. Of course, the boss and the boss lady, the people who own the restaurant, they don't get part of the tips. That's only for the working people. I don't know what to call those. Only for us who are in the kitchen or in the restaurant. Servers or cooks? No, I'm not really a cook though. Like I don't got the. I haven't been to culinary school or whatever it's called. I'm probably not gonna go to culinary school. Like I don't work in a fancy restaurant, but like I'm still not working. I'm still working at a restaurant. Like this is an actual place where they serve actual food, which is crazy to me. Because like in my mind, I've always seen like, oh, just entry level, basically, because I have no credentials for anything other than 9th and 10th grade. Or well, I'm on summer break right now, and I'm doing that's again the school system. It's just not the same. Now I hope the sound is great. Yeah. So if it works right now. There wasn't any commentating in real life in the last 2 clips, or how I call it, live speak. I don't know what to call it, but there wasn't any of that because there was too much noise, and the microphone was picking up people farming outside. And if you can hear what I'm walking on, it sounds like I'm walking on plastic. The funny thing is, that's because I am. So I got paint on the floor. I was like, I don't want to get my parents' floor filled with oil paint again, because I've already done that once and they were not happy, understandably. And what I end up doing now is I have 2 plastic bags, you know, the larger clear plastic bags. I have 2 of those on the floor, and that works. So every time I spill on one, I can just pick it up and take it outside or throw it out. And that may seem a bit like costly, and it definitely is. And it's not because I don't spill all the time. I rarely spill paint. It's just this once I did, and that's not good, because I kind of need to be painting right now. So it's like, yeah. So I usually don't spill, so I'm not gonna be refreshing it much, I think. I hope not. Because every time I spill paint, I also kind of like lose money. I hope the quality is okay. Yeah, every time I lose paint on the floor, I lose money. Like literally. Every time the paint does not go where I want it, I lose money because I lose paint. And like, this paint is not expensive. It isn't that bad. You actually get a fair amount for the price. I'm just broke, so like 1 tube of paint is like the hourly wage of my job. Like, actually, it's actually more. It's about $1 more, which is a bit sick when you think about it, and not sick in a cool way, like sick and sickening. But again, this paint is also really great, so I can see why the paint will be more expensive. I just wish it wasn't, man. So I could. Yeah, I'm just gonna buy more of it either way. I have to buy it because it's some of the best paint I've ever tried, and I don't think I'll go back, really. Like, I won't go back in paint price. I'll probably only become more expensive, and that's another problem for another time, because when it gets more and more expensive, like, the paintings will also get more and more expensive. The paintings are already pretty expensive just because it takes me time to make, and like, I need to earn money if I'm to sell paintings. But they're literally only getting more expensive just because, if the paint I'm using is more expensive, and the canvases I've been using have also gotten more expensive. Like, the big canvases, which are 100 centimeters by 150 centimeters or something like that, they randomly just doubled in price, which I think is crazy, because I thought the price wasn't high, so I understand why they had to raise it for their sake, but like, for me, I like the price where it was at. I don't think it was a fair price. It's hard to talk about the price, not because I don't want to talk about the price, but I'm from Denmark, so all my money is in Danish kroner, and it isn't like close to a dollar, or the dollar, or anything, or the euro. So, but anyway, it was they've definitely gotten more expensive for probably many good reasons. I'm just not a fan that they got more expensive, and that's okay. That I can't really say anything to them. I can't make them make it less expensive, but I still wish it wasn't so expensive. Just because then I wouldn't be needing to draw on this board. But I also love drawing and painting on things that aren't canvases, objects and trash, and this piece of wooden board, which is, can't swear, really great. Like, this is just a canvas. A canvas is just a flat surface that you can hang up on a wall, and as long as it has some teeth to it, if it has some grit, it's not completely flat. And if it is completely flat, you can just sand it down. It will you could use it as a canvas. Yeah. And the same thing with this one. I used this as I just saw it in the barn, and I asked my dad, "Yo, Dad, what are you gonna use this wood for? Like it's been here forever, I think." And it's like, yeah, he has nothing to use it for, so I could just take it if I wanted. It's just staying there. So I did naturally what anybody would do, and I took the wood, drilled some holes, as you've already seen. Hopefully you've seen. I don't know how I'm gonna do this video, so it's gonna be real time, I think, because, yeah. Talk about that later. But yeah, so it's like, and then I drilled the holes in it, as you saw in the intro, or whatever you want to call that. And now we're here, me painting on the wood and creating a cool portrait. Of course, we're not nearly done. I have so much to do, and that's how it is always with my art. Like, there's not an easy, quick fix. It wouldn't be so. But that's the thing with oil paint. Like, it takes forever to dry. That's good and bad at the same time. Like, it's good because when you don't want it to dry and you want to keep working in some color or something or whatever, I don't really know. Like, I don't know how you paint, but whatever you do, like, it's great. But when you want it to dry fast, so you can add a whole other layer of color, or just make something darker or lighter, especially if you try to make things lighter, it's hard. It's very, very hard. And that's the only problem I have with it, really. But that's only because I can't control it completely. Like, if I could just decide, oh, now it's gonna be completely wet and I can't do any, it's just gonna blend with everything. And like, now it's gonna be completely dry. If I could control it with my mind or something, that would be pretty awesome. But of course, that isn't gonna be possible for many obvious reasons, which I think is a bit bonkers. But yeah. I'll also just add whatever I think is necessary. And sometimes there's simply just some lines with a paint color, just to get some texture. And all these small things, you may not be able to see them. I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm recording on an Android phone. So you may not be able to see all the detail now, but there'll be pictures and stuff at the end, which is probably far away from this point in time. And like, you always have to do such little extra things just to get it more alive. And I try to do these, like, because the thing that makes people and things in real life look realistic is the imperfections and the discolorations in skin or anything else, really, which makes people look real and believable. And it's the same thing here. So I give some places more texture, and some places I give more color, and some places get a little bit of color. So there's always something, doing something to get somewhere, or at least to try to. Like this black space over here is for changing the face on the character, and not completely just eliminating a part of it I didn't really like. And that, I think that's great that I can do that. I can just I can make this face or this body or whatever I'm painting the way I want it, because you can always go over and you can always change I think that's great. Yeah, I don't really have anything more to say right now, apart from yeah. If you've watched this far, it's about I think something an hour or something into this video. You should definitely consider liking and subscribing, because I try to make videos every week, and you could be my next subscriber. And I think if you've watched this far into a video, you probably like what I make, or what I say, or anyway, you've been here an hour, which is a pretty long time for YouTube, I think, and like, so you can stay if you want. You can do whatever you want, if you like. It's up to you. And I was actually thinking about making a second channel, but I was like, do I really need it? And in some way, I kind of do, but also I don't. I think I just idolize people who has so much fame and power that even on their second channel where they make like stupid things, like if they're a gamer, then they have a vlogging channel, which I personally don't get, but I still understand it somehow, because I was looking at making a second channel too. It's gonna be Thomas Fool 2. So there's gonna be 2 at the end of the name I have here, which I've already made the channel. I don't know if I've made any videos. I really don't know. You'll probably get that in a later clip. But I don't really think I'm gonna be using it that much. That's the problem, because either I'm gonna use it too much, well, not too much, either I'm gonna use it very much, or I'm not gonna use it at all, nearly. And that would just be a little bit weird, probably. Yeah. But enough about that. This is what I did this time. Yeah. Nearly back, I guess, I'd say. I have some things to do, and I've done them. So today, which, well, isn't today, it's of the day of this recording, I have friends coming over for, I wouldn't say a party, more a gathering. Yeah, I wouldn't say we're partying. I don't know, maybe one would say that. I'm not quite sure. It is just black. Have I used all the crimson? No, that can't be. That can't be. Well, I've definitely used all the crimson. That's so typical of me. But yeah, I guess Brilliant Rose will have to do. Great. Great. Yeah, so I have to use this then. Ugh, sounds nasty. But I definitely just need the gums and a little more things, so I don't need that much actually, which is good. Yeah, let's begin, or whatever you say. And like, oh, I dropped some paint. Okay, it's very hard to put down paint when when there's a layer of black paint over it. Let's use this one. This is hopefully going to work, but by the looks of it, it's not going to work great. But it's going to be more than nothing, and it's definitely just going to be a first layer, because yeah. don't know. Okay, you can see where it's going, right? So that's the thing with oil paint. Like I've probably already talked about it, but sometimes I hate that it doesn't dry very fast, and sometimes I love when it doesn't dry very fast. That makes great sense. If you yourself use oil paint, or if you ever tried it, you know that it nearly never dries. Like when you're working on it, it's yeah, and it's a quality. Like most of the time, it's great because I can just keep working on it, and like nothing will really go wrong or nothing. I can blend colors really easily compared to acrylic, because like if you don't blend it whilst you're putting it on the canvas for the first time, it will literally dry up so fast when you use acrylic. But with oil paint, it won't dry up fast. Like it'll still dry up, but it takes a lot longer. So this is it's a bonus sometimes. But that's like with everything in life. Like not everything. There's nothing that can be all good. That just can't be. Like, Jesus, it's hot in here. Like I maybe have to open a door, cause holy shit. It's nearly hotter outside as inside. And I know I'm wearing sweatpants and a black shirt, which is also my fault. Like I should definitely have been more prepared. That's definitely on me. Don't get me wrong. But like I live in Denmark, man. It never gets this hot. So I have some few things that I want to do, and I'm just trying to get them done here as quickly as possible. Or quickly as possible, whenever I have time, really. Like today I had to like vacuum the whole downstairs, which didn't take that long, and I also had to boil potatoes. I think I did it right. I don't really know. I know I work in a kitchen, but like, you know, I usually just cook meat and stuff, so I don't really do that much with fruit. Well, I prepare salads and things, but yeah. So I think I did the potatoes right. I hope so. Worst case, they taste a little weird. So I'm just giving him or her. I don't think this one has a specific gender. I don't really know. Like I'll probably figure it out at some point, whatever this thing is. But right now it's just a portrait of a person, genderless, nameless individual. I really hope you can see, because the quality is like. Like it's hard because it's gonna turn on the light when I get here, because I'm wearing dark clothes, and that's like the problem when the light is a bit too much from the outside. And yeah, so I'm just slowly working in some white and some lighter color, mostly for texture. And the texture is also gonna get more cool the more I work in it, of course, but it's also just gonna make like the difference between the light and dark areas is what is the thing that's gonna make the detail and make this a really cool portrait. And those things take a little bit of time. But this is the thing I like about oil paint. Like, it mixes so well. So like, I'm never afraid to I can just mix something out or mix something in. So now it gets lighter, of course, than before, but the white also gets darker. So it isn't just white on black and red. It gets this more skin, more pinkish color, and that's just great. Again here, I'll definitely have just a line. I don't know what this line is about, but he definitely has something to say. I can't really explain what it is though. You have to figure that out for yourself. And yeah, I was thinking about like starting a second channel, and nobody is probably listening to this right now because this is so long into a video. So if you're listening to this, thank you. If you aren't, I can't blame you. But well, if you will never hear this if you aren't watching far. Anyway, like I thought about starting a second channel. About my other hobby, or hobby. It's a little bit of a hobby. It's reselling, but not like sneakers and something expensive. Like, I don't buy something new and sell it more expensive. Like, I take old things from charity shops or just somebody's old shoes, clean them up and try to sell them for profit. And not even like a huge profit, just a little bit. Just because I think it's a fun, sustainable way to make some extra money. And I know I have a job, but I'm going to be honest, reselling vintage things, this is much more fun. But it also comes with a cost, and I definitely need to sell things, and I think getting some more traffic to that would be helpful or beneficial. What would one say? Beneficial, I think. Beneficial would be the right word. Just because if more people saw, maybe they would buy something, or maybe they support me in this, in my little making money adventure. Oh, that's cool. That's great. Okay, this one is going to be awesome. I can already tell. It's because how much cool he is. He has a little bit of swag. Swag? Does people still say swag? I usually don't, but maybe in this case it's the right word. Now, the main face here just needs some more on the gums, and it definitely also needs some more on the teeth. It needs some teeth. Oh, just hit the door. And it needs more on the hair, and yeah, it's not nearly done. Just keep on working on it in these small intervals, and that's how I usually like to paint. Like, sometimes I can sit for like hours, But mostly I work so quickly and I decide on new things very fast. So for me to be happy with something, I usually have like not put it through a test, but like I've done it in a very long time, but it doesn't take me a long time to make. Like if you understand, like I work on it for weeks or a week or 2 or 3 or something, but I personally work very quickly. It also depends on who you think works quickly, but compared to most people, I would say I work rather quickly, and I know the picture quality is pretty shit, and that's fair, I guess. Yeah. So I don't have any more crimson, which is a problem because it's the best red, I think. But I have this like thing which is gonna become darker, but brilliant rose is just not the same, you know. It's just isn't the same. But it's better than nothing, definitely. Like I was thinking about using it as the background color, and I definitely should have. So I had more crimson left to myself, but that's a lesson learned, I guess. That I need to not save on the colors. Just because the place I bought it from, they didn't have it. So yeah, which I think is a bit like, then why could I put 2 in my cart if you only had 1 or something like that? Like that. That's just stupid, man. But yeah, it's all right. It's things change, time changes. Yeah, so this is probably okay. You get away, you fly. This is probably where I'm gonna leave it for. Well, I'm not gonna leave it because for you it doesn't matter if I like say I'm gonna leave this for next week or 20 minutes, because for you it takes like a second. It's just the next clip. When the next clip begins, you'll know that I have painted. So yeah, just finish up here, I think, for today. Not today. Oh, definitely for today. Finish up for today. Which isn't as today as in this recording. It is as in this recording, not as in this video. Yeah. Ooh, terrifying. Or something like that. I think that's a great thing I just discovered. yeah, so this is the part where I lose. So I don't have any sort of script, and I'm never gonna have a script just because like I want to be real with you. But most of the time I don't talk when I paint, so it's a bit of an exercise in multitasking most of the time. And yeah, I don't know, I'm alright at it. Right, it's not done, but yeah. Okay, I'm back again. It's the same day as the last clip, but I changed shirts because I changed shirts to this gray one from MX DVS. You definitely need to buy because it's a great brand. Yeah, I changed shirts because this one is a lot thinner, and I mean that in a good way, because the other shirt I had on was killing me. Well, it wasn't killing me. It was just it was a thicker cotton shirt, and that meant that I was getting a little more hot than I would like. And yeah, that's just it. That shit. That's the thing, really. I didn't really have any intentions of overheating today, despite what you might think. So that's why I open a window so we can get some birds. We won't get the birds, but we'll get some sounds of the birds, and we'll get a little bit of light, and it'll be so great. It's a bee. Don't sit on my painting, you stupid bee. Now this is, yeah. I might have to, yeah, oh, the bee. He just flew out himself. I guess I'm closing the window because I don't want no bees in here clogging up my sound with buzzing noises. That will be, I won't like that. We don't want that. So I'm still trying to finish the eyes here, or finish. I'm working on the eyes here, and they're nowhere near done. It's the same with the rest of the face, really. Like there's always more to do in a painting, and that's sometimes it's a problem, and sometimes it's great. Right now, it's a little bit of a problem. Well, not a problem. It's no problem at all. Like it's inconsequential, really. Like it doesn't matter. But it's also fine because I love working. Or I don't love working. I love working on my art. That would be a better way to phrase it, because I don't love working. I think working is alright, and I see the necessary reasons to why I need a job. Money. So, yeah. But I love doing art. Or working on a painting, or whatever you want to call it. Like, in real life, it's like, this is also working. It's just much more fun. And it's much better for my health. I won't say I'm better for my health, but yeah. I'm gonna go also all the way down. I knew. Yeah. I'm very close to being finished, really. I think, like, there's not much more to do, and there's some small, the door again, I keep hitting this door. I literally I keep walking into the door, man. I try not to, but I just keep doing it. But the thing is, there's always more to do, on a painting, just put you there. There's always more to do in a painting, and especially in my style where there's so many layers and textures and all sorts of things I could do. Like I could keep working on a painting for like ever, but some paintings I can literally finish in like 2, 3, 4 hours, and sometimes I can work on this for weeks. Like, not literally work on it, because that would be a hell of a long time if I worked for, I don't know, what's 24 times 7? I'm not smart enough to know that, but just working for 2 days is 48 hours, and I don't work 48 hours on a painting. I rarely go over 10, but it depends. But it takes me weeks still, because I'm not, like, I paint in sort of short bursts. It's hard to say how much I paint, because really I don't know. Because sometimes I paint more, sometimes I paint less. So sometimes I paint like, I don't know, for an hour and the piece is done. And sometimes I paint for 4, 6, 10 hours and the piece is done. So it's a matter of perspective, I think. But it also has to do something with the size of the canvas and the whatever it is that I'm painting, and how much time I have also, because like the more time I have to paint, the more I can paint. Isn't that smart? And that, of course, that just means that like summer I have more time to paint, and I do and I kind of don't, because I still gotta work. I still have work to do, which I will do. I'll work as much as possible to make bank. But on my free time, when I'm not working, I'll be painting. Or hanging out with friends or something like that. Oh, I think my parents are home. Or my mother and my little brother are home. So yeah. But again, this is just a short clip to do some more last minute things. Yeah. Yes, now we're nearly done. And if you can hear the ground, you can really hear the plastic now. That's because I haven't put on any socks, so the plastic is gonna make some noise. But I don't really care, because if you actually have watched this far into the video, that would just be extremely crazy, and I'll be very proud of you, and I think you'll be a really cool person. But like I won't judge anybody who hasn't watched this far, because this is a long ass way away from the start, and I'm thinking about doing actually 2 videos and putting them out right after each other. So putting out first the first video, which would be this one, the uncondensed, just real-time painting and real-time speaking video, and then also make a shorter version which is sped up and has voiceover, because then I can make everybody happy. So if you just want a quick video to watch, you can watch my little voiceover video, and if you want a longer and cooler video to watch, you should definitely watch this one. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that. I'll ask some of my friends, because like it will take me a little bit of time. It won't take me that long, so it's not a time thing. And I think this is coming along great, this piece. But again, we're so close to being done that it would be a mystery if I couldn't see like where this was going yet. Yeah. And that's the thing with these paintings and painting videos that are gonna be so long. Like, for me, it takes this time every time. So like I experience this every video. So yeah. But I'm thinking I'm gonna make 2 videos, because that way I can make everybody happy. The people who like wanna watch a longer video, and the people who wanna watch a shorter video get the same. I think I'm gonna do it. I don't know. I'm really torn up about it, or torn up. I'm not gonna say torn up, but I'm really just, I don't know. I can't decide, because like I kind of just want to make the long video, and then let that be the video, so people will have to watch this one if they want to watch my video, you know? Instead of making a easy to watch version, which I think would be stupid, and it would devalue this video, if you can just watch all the video for 10 minutes, but you will not get the same content and depth, of course. Of course you won't, but still, like this should be an experience, I think. I want my content to be the type of video people like go back to watch, like takes them probably a day or something. They go on and off from it, but they come back. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now I gotta finish the eyes, and the thing about eyes, when I make them really simple, but I think that's also the scariest. It's when they're like really simple. I think that's when they're at their scariest. And of course, I'm gonna make a TikTok with a little clip of me showing this, like I did with the last one. And yeah, like I can always do something. Like that's not a problem, but that's something I just realized. I can always paint something more on a piece. Like if I never wanted to be finished, I never would finish, because like the only thing that's making me finish is me. And it's yeah, it should nearly be done. I'm not sure if it is. I'm not completely sure. Just because yeah. I'll do one more thing, which is put a little bit of black by the side of it. A little, just a little bit. For the same reason. I need to pick up the boxes really for mostly the more things I paint, the more paint boxes I have. But like, anyways, paint's so expensive, man. Of course, I also know I use a lot of it, but like still, damn, like it's expensive. It's not cheap being an artist. It's not cheap. Now the yeah, this really makes the eyes pop. But yeah, I hope somebody's still watching this far, because like I won't blame anybody for not watching a 2-hour video. But like, I'll be very happy if someone is still watching. Boom. That's the piece. This took me a couple of days, a couple of hours. I hope you like it. There'll be another clip with, me. Yeah. You'll see if you're still watching.